Hello and welcome back to American Classic Tour TV. I'm your host JD Conroy, and on today's show, we're going to preview a very special tour. A tour which features perhaps the most scenic train excursion in the entire world. Okay, so let's get right into our itinerary. The Canadian Rockies is truly a trip of a lifetime. It features the world's most scenic train excursion, the famous Rocky Mountaineer. Known for its luxurious gold leaf service, gourmet dining made by executive chefs, and its glass dome train cars which allow for incredible panoramic viewing, the Rocky Mountaineer offers unrivaled service as it takes you through the remote, rugged Canadian wilderness. Marvel as you pass through massive mountain ranges, as you travel along dramatic cliffs overlooking glacial lakes and rivers. While the two-day train excursion aboard the Rocky Mountaineer is spectacular, there's more to this tour than just the train ride. It features Banff and Jasper National Parks. These parks are marked by glacial lakes that beam fluorescent colors of blue, green, and turquoise. They feature dramatic white-peaked mountains and abundant wildlife. Now folks, as an American, I'm a bit ashamed to admit this, but these parks, Banff and Jasper, are hands down the most beautiful place I've been to in North America. And I've been to most of America's great national parks, from Yellowstone to Yosemite to the Grand Canyon, but in my opinion, nothing tops the scenery you'll take in at Banff and Jasper. This tour ends with visits to Vancouver and Victoria, two of Canada's most fascinating cities. You'll enjoy the modern, striking vibrance of Vancouver and the old charm of Victoria. You'll also take in the Butchart Gardens to end this tour. So as we take a look at our map here, you'll see how this tour is kind of laid out. The first 5 days of this tour are represented by those green dotted lines from Calgary to Banff to Jasper. These first 5 days will take in those great national parks via motor coach. We'll be joined by local premier guides who show us around these parks. Then the second part of this tour starts on day 6. As we go from Jasper to Kamloops, represented by that first blue line. That is a full day train ride aboard the Rocky Mountaineer. We'll end our day in Kamloops, we'll get off the train, we'll stay for a night in a hotel before we wake up and have another full day's ride on the Rocky Mountaineer to Vancouver. And then we'll end our tour with the last few days touring Vancouver and Victoria. Okay, so let's take a look at our day-by-day itinerary. Our tour will begin in Calgary, where we'll be staying at the Fairmont Palliser. Folks, I'll never forget the first time I led this tour. I remember that morning we woke up, we slowly drive out of the city, you kind of get into rural Canada, you see some pretty farmland, and then as you turn a corner, you see these towering mountains in the distance. And you drive closer and closer to those mountains, and before you know it, you're surrounded by these massive white-capped mountain peaks on all sides as you enter Banff. And this really sets the tone for the rest of the tour. You're just gonna be around the next 8 days, stunning mountain scenery. We'll arrive in the small mountain town of Banff, and I love Banff Avenue, the main street that runs through this little town. It's lined with boutique shops, delicious restaurants, and cozy coffee shops. And sitting right at the end of Main Street is this gigantic Rocky Mountain peak. I mean, look at that thing, folks. It's just beautiful. Over the next few days, we'll be touring Banff National Park. We'll see Moraine Lake in the Valley of the Ten Peaks, the beautiful Emerald Lake, Johnston Canyon. We'll ride to the top of Sulphur Mountain aboard the Banff Gondola to enjoy an incredible view of the greater Banff area. We'll enjoy a gourmet lunch at the famous Chateau Lake Louise, overlooking this quintessential glacial lake. Next, we'll journey to Jasper National Park, and on our way, we'll stop at the Columbian Icefields, where we'll hop aboard the legendary Snow Coach Ice Explorer to ride atop a glacier. When we make it to the top of the glacier, you'll be able to step out of this vehicle and walk around a glacier. It's a really unique experience. We'll take some photos at the Glacier Skywalk Observatory. We'll visit the Athabasca Falls, where you'll be standing right here to take your own version of this exact photo. We'll see Bow Lake before arriving in Jasper National Park. Okay, so I know you're looking at these photos and videos I'm showing and you're probably saying to yourself, all right, JD, these look gorgeous, but come on, they're super edited. Haven't you ever heard of Photoshop? And my answer to that is, you know what? I have heard of Photoshop, but these photos, these are what it actually looks like when you go and visit these areas. The scenery here is like a dream. It's too good to be true. And a big part of the reason for that is because these glacial lakes that I keep showing you actually pop fluorescent blues, greens, and turquoises. And the reason for that is, like I said, they're glacial lakes. Thousands of years ago, when glaciers swept through this area, they carved through the limestone rock, and they left behind sediment that fell into these lakes. Some of that sediment remains and still sits in these lakes today. And when the light shines through the water here, the special sediment that sits in the water glows and makes these lakes turn beautiful colors. In Jasper, we'll take a boat cruise on Lake Maligne, which is home to one of the most photogenic spots in the entire world, Spirit Island, pictured here. Again, you'll be standing right here enjoying this amazing view for yourself. And you can even get a picture to bring home with you that looks just like this. Now folks, of all the places I've been, I've never seen more wildlife in a single place than I've seen at Jasper National Park. This video that you're watching here of this bull elk, I took this video on my iPhone a few years ago when I was leading our Canadian Rockies tour. He's standing about 5 feet away from our motor coach. So we'll be on the lookout for elk, for bears, moose, bighorn sheep, and even lynx. That's right folks, a few years ago when I was leading this tour, our group even saw a lynx. Now that's incredibly rare. I definitely can't promise that you'll see a lynx while you're in Jasper, or that you'll see any of these animals in particular, but what I can promise you is that you'll see a lot of wildlife. Next, we'll begin part 2 of our journey as we board the Rocky Mountaineer in Jasper. And like I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, the Rocky Mountaineer is a train ride of a lifetime. You'll enjoy the luxury and comfort of Gold Leaf service. And to give you an idea of what Gold Leaf service is like, here's a short video from our friends at Rocky Mountaineer. Looks pretty spectacular, right? Our train excursion will end in Vancouver, and again, we'll be staying at an upscale hotel in the heart of downtown Vancouver. Vancouver is Canada's 3rd largest city. It consistently ranks as one of the top places to live in the world. And after spending a few days in the city, it's easy to see why. Vancouver is a remarkably clean city. Home to countless city parks along its waterfront, the city displays vibrant cosmopolitan culture featuring museums, high-end shopping, a rich and varied culinary scene, and striking modern architecture. With the Pacific Ocean on one side and white-capped mountains on the other, Vancouver is a favorite destination of outdoor enthusiasts, as you can go swimming literally in the morning in the ocean, and then in the afternoon you can go skiing the same day in the mountains. We'll take a ferry ride to Victoria, which is known for its charm and classical architecture embodied by the historic Empress Hotel. While in Victoria, we'll visit the Butchart Gardens. The Butchart Gardens are built on top of an old limestone quarry. The gardens are over 100 years old and they receive over 1 million visitors per year. Now I'll admit, I'm not a big gardener guy myself, okay? But as part of my job as a tour director, I've been fortunate enough to travel to many of the most beautiful gardens in North America. And I gotta say, hands down, there's no competition. Butchart is by far the most beautiful gardens I've ever been to. They feature a countless variety of flowers, including roses, hydrangeas, begonias, Japanese maples, coneflowers, and many more. We'll return to Vancouver to end our tour, and there you have it, folks. That's our Canadian Rockies tour. If you're interested in joining us on this tour, call our office or visit our website and one of our tour specialists will be happy to help you. It's really easy joining us out on the road. When you purchase one of our classic all-inclusive packages, your tour will begin and end at your front door with our signature home pickup and return service. We'll arrange your airfare and your airport transfers, making it seamless for you to meet up with your tour director and the rest of your group. Along the way, everything is included. Your hotel accommodations, fine dining, all attractions, entertainment, and admission fees, deluxe motor coach transportation, luggage handling, all gratuities, the services of an American Classic tour director, and premier local guides. Folks, all the details are arranged for you so you can sit back, relax, and journey in comfort. American Classic Tours was founded by my dad, Joe Conroy. So we're a family-owned and operated business, and for over 35 years, we've led thousands of travelers on our tours to the most beautiful places in North America and Europe. If you have questions, would like more information, or would like our free tour catalog sent to you in the mail, call our office or visit our website. Well, folks, thanks for tuning in to another episode of American Classic Tour TV. We hope to see you out on the road soon.